searching for hope, healing, and a place where you truly belong? Here at Ellwood Community Church, right here in the heart of Selma, Alabama, we believe God's love changes everything. Under the anointed leadership of Pastor Gary L. Crum Sr., we're all about sharing the gospel, lifting each other up, and building a community grounded in faith. Whether you're just down the street or tuning in from miles away, you're part of this family. Experience powerful worship, life-changing messages, and the warmth of a church that genuinely cares about you. Come connect with us. Join our live streams, worship with us in person, or simply reach out. We're here for you, and we can't wait to welcome you home.
Good evening, my Ellwood Community Church family and our online family. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's a blessing. I've been enjoying myself these past couple of weeks. I'm enjoying being back in your homes, wherever you are, at work or recreation, wherever you are. We're grateful to be a part of your Wednesday evening. And we're just so grateful that you have joined us tonight as we sit here in our new worship center on the campus of Ellwood Community Church here in historic Selma, Alabama at One Bell Road, where God is always up to something and God is doing amazing things. And so we want to just take this time out to invite you to come and join us every Sunday morning here at Ellwood. 9 o'clock is church school, and 10 o'clock a.m. morning worship. And we try to get you out of here at a decent hour because we believe in family. And with the God that I serve, it doesn't take all day to do anything. Okay? So come and join us this Sunday morning here at Ellwood Community Church at One Bell Road here in historic Selma, Alabama. For the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about joy and how to get our joy back, and how to maintain joy in our lives, because we're at a critical point in our society. We're at a critical point. A lot of people are literally living on the edge, and we've got to be serious about it, because life has become so dramatic for many in our communities and on the streets, in the cities in which we live, that you don't know now whether or not to even speak to someone, because life for many has drifted away from them. They've lost their joy. And so the Apostle Paul tells us in this short book that he wrote, short book, the book of Philippians, only 4 chapters. But embedded in that 4 chapters, Paul used the word joy, rejoice, nearly 16 times to let us know the value of joy. And he didn't write this to us, guys, while he was on a cruise or on a vacation in the Lookout Mountains or what have you. No. Paul wrote this to us while he was an old man. He was lonely, no ministry, what have you. And he was in prison. He was awaiting execution. And Paul tells us, finally, brethren, rejoice. Now, I used to teach English, and means to do again. Find a way to make it happen again. So he says, find a way to get your joy back. Paul was saying, I know life is hard. I know it's tough. And many of us in our society now, because of the uncertainty that many of us are facing, we're about to push the panic button, about to jump off the mountain, about to do something, God forbid, that we would even contemplate doing, all because our joy levels are low. And so Paul had said, I don't know any of y'all that's in a worse predicament than I was in. I was locked up in a cold prison, chained to Roman guards 24 hours a day. And yet I've discovered the secret to life, the secret to living a joy-filled life. First thing that Paul told us is to forget the regrets of our past. And then he comes along last week and he tells us to do what? Don't even worry about your future. He said there are 2 days that a believer should never worry about. And that's yesterday and tomorrow. And so tonight, he wants to take it to another level. Because if you want to experience joy that is beyond explanation, Paul tells us to do one thing. Focus. Get focused. Get focused. Because once, as we talked last week, you yielded your life to God and you found purpose, then now you need to get focused. You need to do what? How do I get focused? I need to look around the world to what God has been doing. And as you already know, watch this. Life is filled with ups and downs. We all have mountains and we all have valleys. We all experience wins and losses. We all go through good times and bad times. We have critics and we have compliments. But you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice. What are you going to focus on? What's going to grab your attention? Because you can walk around looking at all, the bad things in life, wherever you live, LA or Selma, Alabama, you can look around all the bad things in life, or you can go around looking at all the good things in life. Because Paul tells us what? Paul says, it's your choice. It's your choice. It's your choice. How are you going to look at it? Are you looking at the cup? Is it half empty or is it half full? It's your choice. And every day you are making choices. Every day. So the question tonight is, what are you choosing to focus on? Even your worst day, life is good. I know you're saying, but Pastor, you don't know. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know. I don't know, but God knows. And guess what? Your worst day, even your worst day, life is still good. You have it better off than many, many, many people in this world. So you got to choose. You got to make a choice. You got to focus on what is good. And Paul tells us in Philippians 4:8, he says, watch this, fix your thoughts. That means you control them. You control them. Fix your thoughts. Focus on what is what? What is true. Focus on what is honorable. And focus on what is right. He says, do what? Think about things that are pure, things that are lovely, things that are admirable. He said, think about things that are excellent and things that are worthy of praise. And, there's a lot of confusion because a lot of people, especially young folks, think that you can, find these things on TikTok, Instagram, X, or whatever, talk radio, the news, reading newspapers, listening to Dr. Phil, Oprah. No. You can't get it from any of those sources. But Paul says there's one source that I can count on for joy. That's the Word of God. So when I want joy, I go to the Word of God. Because Paul says the more you fill your mind with what's in this book, then the more positive and joyful of a person that you're going to be. What I'm thinking on, is it true? Is it right? Is it admirable? Is it worthy of value? So Paul says what? Fill your mind every day. Spend some time in the Word of God, because let's face reality, in your mind, there are negative thoughts shooting through our minds every day. There are two inputs, negative and positive. You know, you don't have to run and look for negative thoughts. They're like weeds. They grow everywhere. You know, they're all over. You know, people are more than happy to give you negative stuff on a regular basis. I mean, they'll feed it to your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a snack if you let them. You know, so guard your mind, because as you go through life, you know, the enemy tries to saturate your brain with negative thoughts, and you got to learn how to counterbalance, you know, that stuff with the Word of God. That's what you have to do, you know. And the negative, you know, if you're not in the Word of God, the negative is going to outweigh the positive. And when the negative outweighs the positive, then your life is out of balance. And for many, you're wondering why your life is out of balance. You're wondering why you're down all the time. You know, you're wondering why you're discouraged all the time. You're wondering why some days you don't want to get out of the bed. Well, what have you been feeding your mind? You need to feed your mind some soul food. That is, get up early in the morning, 10 to 15 minutes earlier, you know, than you normally do. Saturate your morning with the Word of God. Fill your thoughts with the Word of God, and watch how your day goes. So Paul says, if you want to have joy, you know, focus on what's good. And Paul practiced this himself, even when he was in prison. Paul had every reason to be bitter. He had every reason to complain. He had every reason to have pity parties. All his friends had deserted him. He's alone. He's old. He's in prison unjustly, waiting to be executed. And while he was in prison, even his Christian buddies turned on him and walked away and started attacking him. He was criticized unjustly. And if there's anything that takes away a person's joy quicker than anything, nothing takes away a person's joy quicker than criticism. And you got to learn. If you're going to stay focused, you got to learn. What I've learned a long time ago, I believe I was in the 10th grade, and I had a assistant principal at the time that I was in high school that was like a father figure to many of us. God rest his soul. His name was Mr. Alice Grayson. And one day, Mr. Grayson approached me and he said, "Son, I want to teach you a lesson." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "The lesson I want to teach you is this. If they're kicking you in the behind, you got to be in the front." So what's your focus? What are you focusing on? Stop focusing on the negative. You're going to have critics. People are going to criticize you. Criticism robs people of their joy, but don't let it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Stop majoring in the minor things in life. And I know you want to retaliate when folks criticize you. You want to get even. You want to criticize them back. And you start allowing stuff to stew in your mind. And Paul comes along in prison. And Paul says, "I don't have time for critics." That's what Paul was saying. I don't have time for critics because I have fully yielded myself to God's purpose for my life. And Paul says, I'm learning to focus on what's good. And guess what? I'm learning too. I'm learning to focus on what's good, because we're all human. When folks criticize you, the first thing you want to do is, take out your butter knife and get back at them. Things of this nature. You want to become their critic or what have you. But Paul says that's wasted time. That's wasted time. The last thing that I'm going to do is allow a critic to rob me of my joy. He says, I'm not going to even allow other people to take my joy away. And do you realize, before I close tonight, do you realize that the reason why many people are unhappy a lot of time is because you get too confused and too concerned about trivial issues. That's the issue. The reason why you lose your joy so rapidly is because you don't spend enough time focusing on what really matters. And you allow unimportant stuff to upset you. You know, how many arguments that you have in your family that are really over major issues? Most of the time it's not major. Most of the time it's little small stuff. Even the Bible tells you the small foxes destroys the vines. It's the little stuff. So stop majoring in the minor and get focused on what is true, what is honorable, what is admirable. That's what Paul tells us where our thoughts ought to be. So today the question is, what choice are you going to make? Are you going to choose to follow the path of your critics? Or are you going to pick up the word of God and walk in who God says that you are? I thank you for your time tonight. I hope something has been said that has sparked something in you to increase the joy that God has given you. You know, the old people used to say, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. God bless you tonight. This Sunday, find yourself in somebody's Bible teaching and Bible believing church. And if you can't find one, we would love to have you to join us this Sunday morning at Ellwood Community Church, number 1 Bill Road here in historic Selma, Alabama. God bless you, and until the next time, stay focused.
Are you searching for hope, healing, and a place where you truly belong? Here at Ellwood Community Church, right here in the heart of Selma, Alabama, we believe God's love changes everything. Under the anointed leadership of Pastor Gary L. Crum Sr., we're all about sharing the gospel, lifting each other up, and building a community grounded in faith. Whether you're just down the street or tuning in from miles away, you're part of this family. Experience powerful worship, life-changing messages, and the warmth of a church that genuinely cares about you. Come connect with us. Join our live streams, worship with us in person, or simply reach out. We're here for you, and we can't wait to welcome you home.